All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down the conflict that's escalating incredibly fast in the Middle East. A single event has just shattered a military record that stood for decades, and it's pushing the entire region right to the brink.
For decades, there's been this legendary American fighter jet, the F-15 Eagle. Its record in air-to-air combat was, well, it was perfect. 104 victories and 0 losses. For all intents and purposes, people thought this thing was basically invincible in the sky.
Well, it looks like that legendary undefeated streak is over.
Okay, so let's get right into it. This is a huge deal, and it's sending shockwaves through military circles all over the world.
So what happened? Iran is claiming it shot one down. They've even released video footage that they say shows it all happening over Kuwait. Now, we gotta say, the US has not confirmed this yet, but just the claim itself, wow, that's a huge escalation and kicks this whole conflict into a much more dangerous gear.
But why? Why now? What on earth could have pushed things to this point? To really get that, we actually have to go back just a few days to see what kicked off this whole firestorm.
Yeah, this whole thing didn't just start with a jet getting shot down. Nope, it started with an attack aimed right at the very top of Iran's leadership.
There have been reports for a while now that Israel has been using what's called a decapitation strategy against Iran. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Pretty ruthless, really. The idea is simple. If you take out the leadership, the head of the snake, so to speak, you can create chaos and paralyze their entire operation. And what we've just seen shows this strategy in full, intense effect. And just look at how fast this all happened. It's just incredible. In a matter of days, we're talking about the elimination of Iran's supreme leader. And then, his replacement, the interim leader, he was allegedly taken out almost right away too. The speed is just staggering. So you can imagine getting hit like that, losing your top 2 leaders in a flash. That's what set off this huge retaliation from Iran. And it wasn't just on one front. They're making a point here. It's not just about revenge, it's about showing the world, hey, even with our leadership in chaos, we can still hit you, and hit you hard. All right, so let's look at the direct results of that retaliation, because this is where you can really see this thing spiraling into a much bigger and honestly a much scarier conflict. So the UK and France, they jumped in with the US on something called Operation Epic Fury. And by publicly siding with the US like that, they basically put a giant target on their own backs. Iran didn't wait. The response was immediate. And you can see Iran's strategy here pretty clearly. They're not just hitting random locations, no way. They are striking really important strategic bases that belong to America's biggest allies. The message is